Now that we've viewed the student filter view, let's jump into the student's profile. In the student's profile, we're going to cover the learning biography. From here, you go into a student's profile by clicking on their names or by searching for the student in the search bar up the top here. For this training, we're going to use Margie Bell as our demo student. When we click on Margie, this will take us to her learning biography. Think of this as the student's IEP at a glance. In the snapshot section, this tab right here, you're going to see that there's 4 modules associated to the student. The first one is the student information, which will have their student ID, birth date, and grade. The next module is going to have IEP information. So this is where you can see anything from who the case manager is, their IEP dates, whether the student has a behavior intervention plan, how is the student's disability affecting involvement in progress, does behavior impede students' learning of self or others. It's really meant to mirror that first page of the student's IEP. Underneath that, we have services. So this is where you can go ahead and see exactly which services your student is receiving. You can see who the provider is, duration/frequency, setting, location, and then any additional comments. You can also see anything under transition services or ESY services. And then lastly, we have the learning needs tab. In this section, you will be able to again see that your student does in fact have an IEP, but additionally, you'll be able to see what their primary and secondary disabilities are. In this case, for Margie, we can see that Margie has other health impairment and a specific learning disability. All of our classifications come with job-embedded PD. So if I'm a teacher and I'm interested in learning more about what a specific learning disability is, I can go ahead and click on Learn More. This will open up a one-pager that gives me the classification overview, the definition under the law, the DSM-5 details, what teachers should look for, and what teachers can say to the student. Additionally, it will also give you the skill gaps. So it could be that my student's really struggling with speaking and listening, or has a skill gap in reading fluency, or mathematical calculation. And then underneath that, we have resources. We always include any resources from reputable sites to learn more about this particular classification. So if you were to have a student who has autism or emotional disturbance or dyslexia, you could go ahead and click on the Learn More to learn about those specific classifications. I want to note that this information is coming directly from SACE, and Education Modified is updating this information nightly. So if a student's IEP were to get updated, this information would get updated as well. Next, we have accommodations. Exactly as it sounds, in this section or in this tab right here, this is where you would go to reference what your students' statewide assessments are, and then any supplementary aids and services that they're receiving. So if a student doesn't have anything listed in their IEP for supplementary aids and services, this section will be blank. If they have something listed, it'll pop up here. All of the information in the accommodations section and snapshot is directly tied to the filter view. So if you wanted to filter all IEP students and see whether they had a behavior intervention plan, you could use that as a filter field. And then lastly, here we have documents. The documents section is really meant to serve as your digital filing cabinet. This is where you can upload everything from evaluations, assessments, the actual behavior plan, IEP, either as a live link or as an actual file. You would just go ahead and click on the 3-dot menu, click Edit, type the title of your document, either put the link, whether that's a Google Doc, Microsoft OneDrive doc, Dropbox, anything like that, or you can just go ahead and upload a file such as a PDF, Word document, etc. If you are uploading a plan, you can always tag that as a plan. So if you were uploading the behavior intervention plan, you can tag that as behavior plan. And then underneath that, we have student data exports. So in Education Modified, you can export anything in the student's profile. If I was interested in exporting information that includes anything in the snapshot and accommodations, I can go ahead and export that. All of the exports will pop up here. So if I ever need to reference any exports that I've done, they will always be housed in the student data export module. To summarize, the student learning biography has these 3 tabs. The snapshot is really meant to give you all of the information that you need related to your student. It serves as the IEP at a glance. The accommodations section lists all students' accommodations, supplementary aids, and services. And then documents, you can upload all documents related to your student. And as long as you have access to the student in Schoology, you will be able to access their profiles in Education Modified. If you have any questions, you can always access our beacon here. This is our help center. If you'd like to see an overview on the snapshot, for example, you can just type snapshot, click enter, and then here you would be able to go ahead and see any supporting documentation. If you have any issues or any questions that you can't find an answer to, you can always reach out to our help center by clicking ask. Make sure you put your integration, your school name, your name, your email, how we can help. Once you click send message, we will get that message and respond to you within 24 hours. And that's it.